Hey everybody, it's Pastor Wardell. I'm here with Mrs. Wardell.
Hi everyone.
We brought one of our favorite toys. Mrs. Wardell, what is this toy here?
So we brought our Martin Luther Lego man for you to see. He's got like a cool robe on and he's got a little Bible in his hand. So we really like to play with him.
Yeah. And what is this little Martin Luther made out of?
It looks like he's made out of plastic, I think.
Sure. Now, I'll bet that, especially the kids at home, they have little toys made out of plastic or dolls made out of cloth or something like that. And here's what's so cool about little action figures or dolls and stuff like that. Sometimes you pretend that they're not made out of plastic. You pretend that they're made out of skin and blood and bones and that they can move around and talk and they can play with you. That's why we like to use little toys like this. We can build them their own little houses and make them play with us like they were alive. But imagine this. Imagine you're having all your little toys come to life and be little humans, but one of them says they don't want to play with you. One of your own toys says, I don't want to be a person, I don't want to talk to you, I don't want to play with you because you're weird. I like being plastic. That's how I like to be, and that's how I'm going to stay. What would you do? Well, that story actually comes from a man named C.S. Lewis. He's the guy who wrote the Chronicles of Narnia. And C.S. Lewis said, I don't know what you would do if your toys didn't want to play with you, but I do know what God did. When God, who made us, when he saw that we didn't want to be like him, we didn't want to follow his rules, we didn't want to obey him, he decided he would become like us. In fact, the Bible passage that talks about it says that God, Jesus, who is in very nature God, did not consider equality with God something to be grasped, but he made himself nothing, taking the very nature of a servant and being made in human likeness. Mrs. Wardell, how would we try to imagine what that's like?
I think one way is like thinking if you had to become plastic, like this little toy, but it's even more than that. I think if you think about how would you feel to become a worm or how would you feel to become a slug? That's like what God did for us.
That Jesus, who is actually God, became a person, not because he had to, not because he just really had no other choice, but he did it because he loves us. The King of the world became a person, and not any old person, but a baby, and a baby who then died on the cross. And he did that. He took the form of a servant so that you could live with him in heaven forever. That's a pretty special gift. Next time you're playing with your toys, maybe you're thinking of how they're, going to play with you and they're going to be alive like you wish they were, and maybe you can remember that Jesus really did come, not just to play with us, but to die on the cross to take away all of our sins. This week, you're going to hear about that on Monday, Thursday. I hope you watch the live stream, and Good Friday when we celebrate the day that Jesus saved us by dying on the cross, and then Easter Sunday when he came back from the dead. I hope to see you over and over again this week as we celebrate what Jesus did for us. We'll see you soon.